In this movie, I'll demonstrate the second use case on which we demonstrated and validated the Aspire technology. In this case, it's a software license management solution contributed by SafeNet. And of course, this license management solution needs to be protected. So what does this license management solution look like? Well, in our use case, we have a simple Java application. It's an Android Dalvik application. And this is an application that can show riddles. And if you have licenses to access them, it can also show you solutions. And there's licenses that are limited in time. There's ones that have a limited counter, so you can only invoke them a couple of times, and so on. The management of the licenses is done in a separate library, a license manager. This is a dynamically linked library programmed in C that contains APIs to access its functionality. It can calculate fingerprints of the machine it's running on. It can keep track of licenses, and it has a bunch of decision logic to allow you or not access to licensed material. Moreover, it permanently stores licenses in license files, and then it has some secure storage files to implement persistent decision logic. Now, to invoke this software license manager, we've embedded it into a JNI wrapper, and so Dalvik actually invokes the manager functionality through the JNI wrapper. And in total, this whole package, the JNI wrapper plus the dynamically linked C code, is a dynamically linked library that we want to protect with Aspire technology. The protected dynamically linked library will then be packaged in the APK together with the Java implementation of this riddle game. Now, in this case, to simplify our development and also to test the portability of our protections, we do not only have this Java version of the game, but we also have a Linux command line version. It's called Simple Demo. And so we can also compile the license manager for Linux instead of Android, and then from the command line invoke all the necessary functionality. Why do we need to provide this protection? Well, if you look at the assets, I cannot go into too many details because the internal operation is sensitive and confidential. But obviously, this license manager operates on a set of encryption keys, and it implements program logic that we need to protect, for example, for maintaining and checking licenses, for fingerprinting the machine, for managing the storage and the persistence files, to encrypt and decrypt data correctly, and also to authenticate the licenses and all the data. Commonly, these assets come with the security requirements of confidentiality and execution correctness. For example, we have to ensure that checking of the validity of the licenses and authenticating them happens before actually using them. And to meet these security requirements, many protections need to be combined. Again, I cannot disclose which protections are to be deployed on which assets, but overall we combine many protections. So instead, let's have a look at the use case in action. So just to show you the command line version, I'm running here a Linux on a Panda board. Some more info. You see it's an ARM-v7 processor. It's a rather old one, but it serves our purpose as a testing platform. And you see here I have the application. It's called Simple Demo. And in two subdirectories, I have two versions of the dynamically linked library. The license manager, this is called libdiamante. Now, if I set the path to invoke the protected one, then you see I can run the program, and it basically offers the same functionality. It can display riddles, it can display solutions, it can read license files and produce fingerprints, and so on.
Bart, show us the Android version. Okay, so I'm going to start the application. So we have the home screen, and there are three riddles. So there's riddle, you must cut the cake, etc., etc. And it asks, do you know the answer? And if you want to either check your solution, or if you don't know what the answer is, you can ask show solution, but we do not have a license for this riddle. Same with the second riddle, we have no solution. Same with the third riddle, we have no solution. This is the buy screen of our app for our riddles. So we have a unique device fingerprints, which is displayed here for demo purposes. And we can here buy licenses for a riddle. So here we can ask, for example, buy a license for riddle 3. It displays the license. Again, this is for demo purposes. And then now we add this license to our license file. Okay, it shows that it's been added. And now if we go to the third riddle, of which I've just purchased the solution, I click show solution, it indeed, rather than give an error that I don't have a license, it indeed shows the solution to the riddle.
Thanks.
The Aspire project has received funding from the European Union's 7th Framework Programme under Grant Agreement number 609734.